Hey guys, welcome back to another Modern Warfare 2 video. In today's video, we are going to be discussing Year 2 DLC for Modern Warfare 2. So Activision released some new financial statements for Modern Warfare 2. They announced that Modern Warfare 2 has already hit $1 billion in sales, which is freaking crazy, and that beat out the series' previous record, which was Black Ops 2 back 10 years ago in 2012. That's freaking crazy, dude. Nothing has beat Black Ops 2 until now, which, I mean, to me, it kind of shows that none of these games have been as good as Black Ops 2, but, that's another topic. So anyways, so in Activision's statement, they say, following a 3-year period in which Call of Duty reached well over 500 million players and delivered a step change increase in engagement and player investment, these launches mark the start of a new era intended to take the franchise to new heights. Activision is looking forward to building on its current momentum in 2023, with plans for next year including the most robust Call of Duty live operations to date, the next full premium release in the blockbuster annual series, and even more engaging free-to-play experiences across platforms. Activision's third quarter financial performance was lower year over year, primarily reflecting reduced engagement for Call of Duty following the weaker reception for last year's premium release. In-game net bookings on console and PC again grew sequentially in the third quarter versus the second quarter, contributing to sequential growth in segment operating income. Segment revenue and operating income are expected to return strong year-over-year growth in the fourth quarter following the successful launch of Modern Warfare 2. Okay, well then Charlie Intel picked this up and they put out a tweet here. They say, rumors of a year 2 of Modern Warfare 2 is always a rumor, and now it seems like Activision is sticking to yearly premium releases. Too much money on the line to just stop it. So what Charlie Intel is picking up here is that, judging from Activision's release here, is that in here, they talk about the next full premium release in the blockbuster annual series. So there will be a next full release in 2023, so a full new Call of Duty game, which we know at this point would end up being a new Treyarch game, right? That Treyarch is next up on the menu here. So we had Treyarch in 2020, and then in 2021, last year, we had Sledgehammer with Call of Duty Vanguard, and then of course this year we have Infinity Ward with Modern Warfare 2. Well, then next up would be Treyarch, and so according here to Charlie Intel and from Activision's own statement here, it sounds like, Treyarch is up next year, so the Treyarch will not, in fact, actually get an extra year, but instead, Activision is going to force them to release a full game next year. Okay, well, that's what Charlie Intel is saying here, that there's too much money on the line for this. Well, yeah, no. It kind of is interesting here because Jason Schreier, he jumped in here and he basically shut all this down, and he said he wants to set the record straight on this, just so going forward everybody is on the same page and there's no more confusion about this. So he goes, in quoting Charlie Intel's tweet about this, he goes, "Let me make this super clear. The next game by Treyarch is coming out in 2024. Next year, there will be a Modern Warfare 2 premium or paid expansion by Sledgehammer. It's supposed to have lots of content. Maybe that's why they call it a full release, but it's more Modern Warfare 2. He also says, by the way, while I'm here, those random rumors a few weeks ago about Sledgehammer making Advanced Warfare 2 were false. Never say never, I guess, but this is their next project." So, whoa, okay, so a bunch of stuff just right there that he talked about. So, one, let's first talk about the Advanced Warfare 2 thing. So, kind of disappointing. Yeah, Advanced Warfare 2 is apparently not happening. Yeah, according to, Jason Schreier, that it's not happening, at least currently, that it's not in the plans, but he says, never say never. They still potentially could do it. Potentially Sledgehammer could see the community's reaction to the rumors of an Advanced Warfare 2 and go, man, the community actually had a fairly positive response to this. Maybe we should do an Advanced Warfare 2 or something like that, So it sounds like at least they haven't currently been planning on it, but, stuff is subject to change. Plus, as we get into this here in a little bit, the timeline for when these games are coming out is going to change, and it's going to be kind of interesting, though. So, Sledgehammer, at this point, it sounds like they have pretty much almost all the time in the world to make a new game. So they could pretty much start from scratch right this very second and be like, you know what, we do want to do an Advanced Warfare 2, and they'd still have enough time. So, okay, so that's what Jason Schreier is saying, right? And then before that, he's saying, though, that the next full game will be coming out by Treyarch in 2024. So that's what we had previously heard. That's what we had heard, forever ago, right? We knew that the that next year's game was going to get pushed back and that there was not going to be a full game next year. We had all these rumors that next year there was going to be some sort of free-to-play game. We thought it was going to be DMZ, but then we found out that DMZ was actually going to be bundled in with Warzone 2 when that comes out here later this month. And then we also thought, okay, well, maybe it's going to be Warzone Mobile. Maybe that's what they're going to classify it as. Okay, nope. It might still be considered Warzone Mobile. I mean, at this point, Warzone Mobile is probably going to release next year. I doubt it's going to release this year still. We also had talk that, okay, maybe it's going to be like a Zombies game or Zombies expansion or something like that. Nope, it sounds like that there will not be a full game coming out next year. No game really at all other than probably just Warzone Mobile. But instead, there will be a giant expansion for Modern Warfare 2. So we've already covered this in previous leaks about what this all is, but basically, just kind of a quick recap, not even coming from Jason Schreier, but from other sources. They're saying that all this paid expansion, that it's going to be developed by Sledgehammer, which we'll talk about that in a second, but this paid expansion is going to have a campaign expansion, so it's going to continue on the campaign, as well as going to have tons of multiplayer maps, but it is going to be a full paid expansion costing $70. So don't expect, a quick like $30 expansion like we had with Zombies Chronicles. No, this is apparently like essentially a full expansion to the game. It's almost essentially a whole nother game, I guess. At least that's the way Activision is going to be marketing it and trying to sell it as, because that's the way it's priced. So, I mean, with the way and the success we've had with Modern Warfare 2, I wouldn't be surprised that Activision is obviously trying to go this way. I think that, it's obvious they're trying to capitalize on this and go, hey, I mean, we've already made $1 billion off Modern Warfare 2. Well, what if next year we just continue that and we just put out more stuff for Modern Warfare 2? I mean, how could we go wrong with that, right? But anyways, let's continue about this, right? Tom Henderson picked up on this, and so he puts out an article on his Insider Gaming website. Call of Duty 2023 is being developed by Sledgehammer Games, it's claimed. And then he also says the DLC will cost $70 if Activision's official wording is anything to go by. Okay, here's his article. So he says, Call of Duty 2023 is being developed by Sledgehammer Games, it's claimed. Reputable gaming journalist Jason Schreier has said that Call of Duty 2023 will be developing by Sledgehammer Games. There's news following today's announcement by Activision that there will be a new premium Call of Duty title released in 2023, which contradicts Schreier's report that the next premium game will release in 2024 by Treyarch Games. To be clear, and to clear the air and stop the confusion, Schreier clarified that next year's premium title is a premium-based expansion developed by Sledgehammer Games. The confusion has arisen because past Activision's earnings calls have named premium titles as $70, whereas a year 2 of DLC would suggest something different. As explained by Schreier, it's supposed to have lots of content, maybe that's why they call it a full release, but it's more Modern Warfare 2. Insider Gaming believes that Year 2 will consist of a lot of remastered maps and a campaign DLC. Unfortunately, and if true, Activision's premium title wording suggests that this Modern Warfare 2 Year 2 will actually cost $70 rather than the likes of Zombie Chronicles' $29.99 price tag. Previous rumors suggested that Year 2 will consist of almost all the remastered maps from the original Modern Warfare 2 game, and then he goes, for more information, follow his blog post or whatever, because they also talked about a potential PS5 Slim, which we'll probably cover that in a separate video. So anyways, that was his article. Well, then he posted a whole nother article too. So, the same day, right, he also posted another article here. He says, breaking news, Activision confirms new premium Call of Duty in 2023. He says, I say in this article, but it's believed that this premium game is a remastered maps from the 2009 original and a campaign DLC. So this article actually came out before his previous one. He says, according to Activision's financial report, the company has confirmed that a new premium Call of Duty will release in 2023. According to the filings, Activision says Activision is looking forward to building on its current momentum in 2023 with plans for next year, including the most robust Call of Duty live operations to date. The next full premium release in the blockbuster annual series, and even more engaging free-to-play experiences across platforms. It continued. It was reported earlier this year by Bloomberg's Jason Schreier that Call of Duty will be skipping its 2023 release by Treyarch Games, and Insider Gaming and reputable insiders have heard similar claims from sources, but Activision's earnings report seems to contradict this. Insider Gaming, as well as various other insiders, believe that Call of Duty 2023's premium offering will consist of remastered maps from the 2009 original and a campaign DLC. It's also been previously reported that Call of Duty will be moving on from annual Call of Duty releases altogether, and then Jason Schreier also personally weighed in on the news on Twitter. Man, you keep falling for the same PR language. It's a continuation of Modern Warfare 2. It's called a full premium release because they're probably going to market it and sell it as a $70 game with new single and multiplayer content, but it's more Modern Warfare 2. Charlie Intel, a Call of Duty veteran, replied to Schreier with community expectation was year 2, not a $70 pay gap. It's basically going to be a new game, a continuation of Modern Warfare 2 that you have to pay $70 for. So let's talk about Jason Schreier's tweet here, right? So somebody asked here in the comments, they say, is the idea that it would just be Modern Warfare 2 Game of the Year edition type thing as opposed to a new title then? Not MW3, not Black Ops 6, etc. He goes, no, it's like an expansion, but big enough that they can sell it for full price. And then he also clarifies again, he says, I should be crystal clear that I don't know for sure what the price will be, just reading between the lines here. So, I mean, it's not, out of the blue, I guess, for Activision to, charge $70 for this. Obviously, like we're saying here, that we're all just kind of reading between the lines here, and we're just going off of Activision's own wording here, because they say it's a full premium release, which they reserve for full price games, not just DLCs and expansions and live service stuff. So, yeah, it can kind of be expected for that. But also, if you think about it, like, if we're going to be getting almost the entirety of the original Modern Warfare 2, all of the multiplayer maps remastered, as well as a full campaign DLC, yeah, it makes sense that Activision is going to try and probably charge $70 for that. They're going to try and charge as much as they possibly can for that, because, I mean, they like money, and that's what they're going to try and do. So they're going to try and market it as, hey, you get so many multiplayer maps, and you get a whole another campaign, essentially a full another game, right? But it's just an expansion and a built upon the existing Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer. But we've kind of known this for a little while, but the whole $70 thing is kind of a shock. I was personally expecting $60, but yeah, it makes sense for Activision to charge $70 for this. But yeah, basically nothing that we haven't already known at this point. Jason Schreier just comes out and confirms this, that yes, hey, this is what's happening, because we've had places like Charlie Intel that have been like, hey, no, like, we're still gonna have a full game next year. But then Jason Schreier comes out and completely just puts that to rest and is like, no, stop putting this out there, quit saying this. There will not be a game next year. There's only going to be an expansion for Modern Warfare 2. So I'm glad he has clarified this, and because that way we have a little bit less actual, kind of misspeak and stuff going around throughout the community about this. But then Ghost of Hope chimes in here with some more information about this kind of stuff. So he goes, Activision is in talks of having COD operate under a tick-tock cycle going forward. The Tick, which will be year 1, is a new premium title. Significant engine updates building the storyline. Talk, which is year 2, is a premium paid DLC content continuing the storyline, leading game into the next Tick. So that's interesting. I mean, the whole TikTok cycle thing kind of comes essentially, I mean, what I know it from is from Apple, is they did that with their iPhones for a number of years. They had like an iPhone 5, and that was like their whole new phone, and then they had like a 5S, which is just an upgrade of that. And then they came out the next year with the 6, which is a brand new iPhone, new, like entire design stuff. And then they came out the 6S, which is just kind of little incremental upgrades and stuff. And then they had the 7 and stuff. So they kind of had a TikTok cycle there, where it's like every couple years is when they finally make huge changes to their phones. But it seems like, apparently Activision is having decisions internally about whether they should go this route with the Call of Duty franchise. So somebody comments here, does year 2 include additional campaign missions? That includes a storyline. And Ghost of Hope says, continuing the storyline. So, I mean, that doesn't really answer that. He goes, I'm asking if it's through campaign missions because I already know that they're continuing it through Spec Ops. He goes, there's only one way to continue the storyline, and that's single player. So yes, there will be additional missions, which I did talk about this in my campaign playthrough. If you guys want to go and check that out, it's already uploaded on my channel. You guys should definitely go and check that out. But in the very end of it, of course, I'm not going to spoil the ending of the game in case you guys haven't seen that, but the game does end on a cliffhanger. And so for that, it's like, I talked about that in that video. Okay, when are they going to pick up this storyline, though? When are they going to continue this? Because if Treyarch's not releasing a game until 2024, even if Sledgehammer was to release a game, the very next year, 2025, it's going to be until 2026 at least, bare minimum, before Infinity Ward release their next game, which would be another Modern Warfare game, potentially. I mean, just from the success of this, I mean, Infinity Ward has made comments saying that this will be the last Modern Warfare game. This will be their, their last of this whole reboot series. But with this game making over $1 billion so far, I don't think Activision will let them stop. I think Activision will force them to make a Modern Warfare 3. But as I talked about in that video, even if they bare minimum did just, 1 year between games, we're still going to be waiting at least 4 years until 2026 to finally get a follow-up to this story and, to find out what happens at the ending here of Modern Warfare 2 and what happens to the story and the characters and stuff like that. So it's like, we're really going to wait at least 4 years for that? Like, that's freaking nuts. Whereas, we have this, talk here, like he's saying, about a TikTok cycle. So that means that, if this cycle does get adapted, that in 2024, so 2 years from now is when the next Treyarch game will release. Well, then, if they're going to do this, that means that there will not be a game in 2025. Instead, there'll be year 2 DLC for Black Ops, and then Sledgehammer will have a game coming out in 2026, and then they'll have their year 2 in 2027. So that means Infinity Ward will not be back up for their turn in the cycle until 2028 for 6 more years. Are you telling me we gotta wait 6 years for a continuation of the story? But, of course, we know that's not actually going to happen because the next year we are going to be getting some sort of campaign expansion, which I totally expect for them to put out this expansion and finish up the storyline as they previously suggested, as the developer suggested. And I think that makes the most sense. That keeps everybody happy. That way, the Infinity Ward developers, like they're saying, they were going to end the storyline with this game, which they still potentially could do with just an expansion to the story, whereas they can also continue by keeping Activision happy, and Activision can stay happy by making more money by releasing an expansion and stuff like that. So yeah, it makes sense, and I think everybody wins in that aspect. But then lastly, what Ghost of Hope says here, he says, from what I personally have put out and have heard, Modern Warfare 2 Year 2 is paid content with campaign DLC / Modern Warfare 2 2009 maps, etc. That is consistent with what Jason Schreier has said, and he has heard himself. It shouldn't be a surprise that a Modern Warfare 2 expansion of that magnitude would be paid. Somebody asked, all base Modern Warfare 2 2009 maps or Modern Warfare 2009 DLC maps too? He says, as far as I know, it is all / almost all Modern Warfare 2 2009 maps as the core focus, and then some Treyarch / Sledgehammer fan favorite maps with that. Campaign DLC expands upon the story we just played with Modern Warfare 2. And yeah, so there we go. That clarifies up some of that information stuff. It's not official. This is just kind of what, like what Ghost Hope is saying, that it's just something that's going around within Activision, is that they're having talks about this internally, about having COD operate in this TikTok cycle. So it's not official yet. And of course, obviously, things will also change as well. If the Microsoft acquisition actually goes through, then Microsoft will actually get the full say of this because they'll own Activision at this point. So if that's the case, then, Activision, which is now owned under Microsoft, could essentially, decide, hey, we do want to release a game in 2023. Hey, we do want to push the Black Ops game up until 2023. They could completely change things. So this is just how Activision is planning things out right now. But like I said, things can completely change and just do a complete 180 if this Microsoft deal actually does go through. So, this is all subject to change, to take this all with a grain of salt. But at least for the time being, this is the plan. And I also personally don't expect this plan to change that much if Activision actually does get bought out by Microsoft. That I'd expect Microsoft to pretty much respect a lot of these decisions and go, you know what? Yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense. So we're just going to kind of let you guys just run this one out. And we'll just sit back and basically collect a check, I guess. So, yeah, that's pretty much going to do it, guys. So, what do you guys take about this? What do you guys think about this in the comments down below? What do you guys think about this $70 price tag? I think that's probably going to be the biggest shocker for a lot of the people in the communities that, for a DLC, it's not even a full new game. You're going to have to pay another $70 for just more content within Modern Warfare 2. So, I don't know exactly how I feel about that. I can see both sides. I don't think it should cost $70, but at the same time, for a whole new story expansion, basically another campaign, plus if we're essentially getting a Modern Warfare 2 remastered multiplayer, just in the form of literally remastering every single original Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer map, then yeah, I could definitely see, a higher price tag for the two of those together. Maybe not $70, but at the same time, no matter what the price is, I'm obviously going to buy it, so I guess I can't complain too much, but yeah, so what do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments down below. If you guys are new around here, make sure you guys get subscribed, give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.